But to be alive is different. You can see it from the inside. To be alive is to feel pain and pleasure, to love and to fear. To be alive is to be able to create, to think of something which is not and make it happen. That's why the creative person only knows the highest form of life. Because when you create, you are at the optimum of your energy. When you create, you are part of a God. How one can do it is a mystery. How one can exist is a mystery. Every effect must have a cause. That is what we call the law of causation. That's what we are taught. But I can see no cause for the effect which I am. I wake up riding on a miracle. My reason serves me well, but with the mystery of my being it fails. My reason itself is a tool of this mystery, hence it cannot know it. You have to look within, first to see what life is. You have to feel it from the interior. And the best way to feel your life is to be creative. Because then you are at your maximum. Ordinarily, people live at their minimum. And whatsoever people go on doing can be done at the minimum, because those are just habits. Those are just routine things your body has learned. They have been transferred from your consciousness to the robot part in your body, which goes on functioning on its own. For example, once you learn driving, first when you learn, you are very alive, very alert, because there is danger. You have to be alert. You don't know what is going to happen. You have to keep aware of so many things. The steering wheel, the roads, the clutch, the gear, the accelerator, the brake. So many things to be aware, alert. And the traffic and people passing by and the cars passing by. But once you have learned, your knowledge is transferred to the robot part of your body. Then you need not bother. You can talk to the friend, you can sing a song, you can smoke, you can listen to the radio, and your body goes on doing. You need not be alert. Only exceptionally, if some accident is going to happen, for a moment you will wake up. Because the danger is too much, and the danger is so unknown that the robot part cannot face it. It has not happened before. It is new. Ordinary life becomes a mechanical routine, and you start living at the minimum. You never flare up to your maximum. In creativity, you flare up. And that is going to be one of my messages to my sannyasins. Be creative. Because to be creative is worship. To be creative is prayer. To be creative is meditation. And to be creative is to be close to God. There is no need to go to Kaaba, because God is here as much as in Kaaba. There is no need to go to the Himalayas, because God is everywhere, equally available, but available only to those who live at their maximum, whose life flame is not a dull flame, who pour their whole energy into it, and that happens only through creativity. So to me, the definition of a sannyasin is not the definition of the old kind of saints, sitting dull and dead. The definition of a sannyasin is to be creative. dance, sing, create music, paint, sculpt, or whatsoever you feel like doing. Find out what is your innermost joy and do it. And doing means bring it from the invisible to the visible. Doing means make the dream exist on the earth. Let the dream become actual. Transform the potential into the actual. And that is the greatest joy there is. The real bliss is attained only when you are able to bring something from the unknown to the known. When you make, create, when you are able to transform a dream into reality, when you have helped God in a certain way, in your own way, you have made the world a little more beautiful. When you have enhanced its joy, then you are a sannyasin. And to know this way your inner life will help you to know that you are deathless. Because once you know who you are in your uttermost capacity, when your inner torch is burning from both the ends together, at the optimum, then you will know there is no death. And at the optimum, your third eye center starts functioning. And only at the optimum. So don't live the life of a drag. Don't live it as if it is a burden, a duty to be fulfilled. Make it a dance. Let it be a celebration. Immortality is contained in this, and also the overcoming of the world. If you can allow your energy to reach, your flame of life to reach to the third eye, you will see there is no death. And you will see suddenly you are no more attached to the world. Now the difference has to be remembered. The old sannyas, the so-called old religious way of life, has been teaching people to renounce the world. I don't teach renunciation. I teach bring your life energy to the optimum. And once you have seen the true in your being, the world carries no meaning anymore. The higher has happened, the lower becomes insignificant. You need not renounce it. It has already dropped. You need not escape anywhere. You can live in the world, but you have overcome it. And remember, escaping and overcoming are two totally different things. The real sannyasin has to overcome the world, not renounce. The light is not in the body alone, nor is it only outside the body. And once you have seen the light inside, then you will become aware that it is not only inside, it is also on the outside. It is not confined to you. Remember, darkness is individual, light is universal. Death is individual, life is universal. Misery is individual, bliss is universal. For the misery to exist, you have to exist separate. And for bliss to come into existence, you have to become part of the whole, in harmony with the whole. The light is not in the body alone, nor is it only outside the body. Mountains and rivers and the great earth are lit by sun and moon. All that is this light. Once you have seen it in the inside, you will recognize it everywhere, in the moon, in the sun. All light is the same. Inner and outer make no difference. Therefore, it is not only within the body. Understanding and clarity, perception and enlightenment, and all movements of the spirit are likewise this light. It is the same light that you see in the moon and that you see inside yourself in the third eye. Once you have seen that it is the same light, the inner and the outer are no more distinct. The inner is the outer is the inner. That's why the Zen masters say the sansara is nirvana. The world, the very world, is enlightenment. This very body, the Buddha, this very earth, the paradise. That's why when Buddha became enlightened, he said, it is incredible. It is unbelievable that the moment I became enlightened, the whole existence became enlightened with me. Down the centuries, Buddhist meditators have been meditating over it, what he meant, what he wants to say. The moment I became enlightened, the whole existence has become enlightened. But how it can be? Because there are so many unenlightened people yet. What can he mean? The meditator himself thinks that I'm yet unenlightened. How the whole existence has become enlightened? It has become enlightened for the Buddha, because he has seen the distinction between the inner and the outer was nothing but the ego, the small thin curtain of the ego. Once that curtain has fallen, there is nothing inner, nothing outer. So Buddha cannot say, I have become enlightened. He says the whole has become enlightened. All the trees and all the rivers and all the mountains and all the people and all the animals and all the planets, all have become enlightened. Because now he has no separate identity. He does not mean that you have become enlightened. He is simply saying that I cannot say I have become enlightened. I was in bondage, that much I can say. I was ignorant, that much I can say. I was in misery, that much I can say. But now I am no more. Existence is blissful. Existence is full of light. And the inner and the outer light are the same. There is nothing inner, there is nothing outer. All distinctions disappear. When the light enters into the third eye, the one eye, the single eye, all distinctions disappear. The rainbow again becomes a single ray of white light. Just the other day there was a question. Why? You tell us to wear orange and you wear white. It is just symbolic. Just to tell you that you have to come to the point where colors disappear. And the single white ray remains without any distinctions. Understanding and clarity, perception and enlightenment and all movements of the spirit are likewise this light. Therefore, it is not just something outside the body. It is neither outside nor inside. It is everywhere. Inside too, outside too. And it is the same light. The same light that you see shining on the greenery and the flower and dancing on the lotus. It is the same light that becomes clarity, insight, enlightenment, perception, understanding. And remember, the master says, understanding, not knowledge. The master says clarity, not answers. One simply becomes so clear that the questions disappear. Not that you attain to some answers. Only you are so clear that the confusion is no more there. That's all. It is absence of questions, not presence of answers. Hence it is called understanding, not knowledge. Just the other day, Anuruddha has also asked that what is the difference between our knowledge and your knowledge? I don't see any difference, he says. The difference is not in knowledge. He must have been thinking that I know more than he knows. Just the contrary is the case. I don't know more than you know. In fact, you know, and I have no knowledge. I am only clear. A clarity, a understanding, not knowledge. Here are many people who know more than me. And that is their problem. And they will have to drop that knowledge. I don't know a thing, but only clarity. When you ask me a question, it is not that I have an answer for it, but just I focus my clarity on it. Try to understand. And whatsoever response comes out of the clarity, I say to you. It is not knowledge. It is just a capacity to see. Knowledge makes people blind. Their eyes become so full of knowledge they cannot see. Even before you have asked the question, they have the ready-made answer there. They are ready to answer it. They don't listen to your question. They don't listen to the questioner. They don't listen to his being. They don't see into him what he means. They have a ready-made answer. They are in a hurry to answer you. And they must prove the answer with arguments and scriptures. And they must give all kinds of supports to it. I have only a kind of understanding, a vision, a capacity to see. That's why the master says, understanding and clarity, perception and enlightenment. It is not knowledge. It is just utterly cloudless sky within. The light flower of heaven and earth fills all the 1,000 spaces. But also the light flower of the individual body passes through heaven and covers the earth. It is a light flower, this whole existence. This is the experience of the mystics, that existence is built by nothing else but light. It is all light. Light is the basic constituent of existence, and modern physics agrees with it. They call it electricity. Light is too much a poetic word for them. They have to drag it down to the earth. It becomes electricity. But what they are saying is exactly the same. Matter has disappeared in modern physics. Matter is no more. At the deepest core of matter is nothing but electricity, electrons, electric particles dancing, energy particles dancing, with no matter in them, no weight. This has been experienced by mystics down the centuries, unexceptionally. Whether the mystic was born in India or in China or in Tibet makes no difference. This has been the most fundamental experience of all the mystics, that the existence is made of light and nothing else. The book of the golden flower says, this light, this flower of light, these petals of light fill all the spaces outside and also inside. Therefore, as soon as the light is circulating, heaven and earth, mountains and rivers are all circulating with it at the same time. The same thing that Buddha said is said in different words. The moment you see light circulating in you, you will be able to see the dance of light all over. Stars moving and mountains and rivers, all will be nothing but light streams. A tremendous dance of light energy. To concentrate the seed flower of the human body above in the eyes, that is the great key to the human body. Children, take heed. If for a day you do not practice meditation, this light streams out, who knows whither. If you can meditate for a quarter of an hour, by it you can do away with the 10,000 ions and 1,000 births. All methods end in quietness. This marvelous magic cannot be fathomed. The Master Lu Tzu says, only 15 minutes will do. In 24 hours, if you can sit silently for 15 minutes, concentrated into the third eye, that will be enough to change your whole future. You will not be needed to be born into body again. You will not be needed to be thrown into the world again. You have learned the lesson. You have become worthy to move without body and the limitation of the body. Your soul will be free, untangled, without any bondage. And then there will be no death, no birth. You will be an eternal flowering of light into this infinite existence. Only 15 minutes? Yes, only 15 minutes can do the miracle. But people are not even ready to give 15 minutes to quietness, to silence. I have heard, when Ignatius Loyola heard the news that an unfriendly man had been